Welcome to Shul.com. We are continuing in the Ben Ish Chai Shana Rishona Parashat Noah Halachot. We're up to Tet. Sudar shenotnim ala savar, a sweater that you put on your neck. Afal pi sheyesh lo arba kenafot, even though it has four corners. V'yesh bo shi'ur tzitzit, and it has the shi'ur of what a tzitzit needs of the garment. Patur, you don't need to put on it the four tzitziot. V'chen hu hadin hamalbushim kegon glima b'chavetzein. That's also for a glima, or like a jalabiya, if it had that same issue. It has two corners on the top, and two on the bottom. Piturim, it's patur. And a fearful person should be careful. Make one of the corners round, so you don't have that issue. And then, of course, to everyone, it's not an issue. Even though a lot of people didn't focus on this. The right thing to do is to tie together each and every string. That today they're bought, but when each and every string should be compiled of 8 threads. That every one of the chuts should be 8 kaful d'shmona, because on every corner of the tzitzit you have 4 strings that are doubled. You flip them over, and so you have 8, and each one of the 8 should be 8. So he says then you're going to have 256 threads. You have 8, so you have 64 in each one, so 60, 120, then you have 180, 240 on each and every one, and then you have 6, 12, 18, 24. Okay. This is a remez to the corners of the chayot. V'chasher hadavar lasot ken. כמו שכתב השיעורי ברכה ז"ל, in אורח חיים סימן י' א' אות ה', בשם אחד קדוש, a holy man, עיין שם. ובספר לב חיים, in חלק א' סימן פ"ו, הביא כמה ספרים דכתבו כן. A few books wrote this. ולכך, כל אדם יזהר לך תחילה בזה. Everyone should be careful on this. נראה לי בסייעתא דשמיא לעשות רמז בזה במספר מובחר. And he said there is a remez on this, on the mispar muvchar. Muvchar, the word muvchar is mem bet het resh, and that equals she'odeh resh nun vav. That is 256. Kilomar davar zehu mitzvah min ha-muvchar. That doing that, he says, why is it the word muvchar? Because when you do the 8 threads on each one, that's a mitzvah min ha-muvchar, and then you'll see how this ties into the eyes too. Now, the word ranu is resh nun vav, which is 256. And then you have to take these 4 from these 4 corners, that they are a total of 356. Al gabe enav, on top of his eyes, bishat kriyat shema, on top of the shema, otiyot ayin, the ot of ayin, mileim, which is the milui of the word. The way you do a milui is by spelling out ayin, yud, nun, but spelling out each. So the word ayin is ayin, yud, nun. You spell out ayin, ayin, yud, nun. Then you spell yud, yud, vav, dalit, and then nun, vav, nun. And that, if you spell the milui of ayin, it's olim teresh nun vav. That equals the 256. Remez hutin elu shehem ranu yo'ilu la'ayin. It's going to help your eyes. That's maybe why the Mishnah Berurah brings down that a person who on the words Uri item oto takes his tzitziot and puts it on his eyes, he's guaranteed to never lose his eyesight in his life. Shehi mispar ranu b'nimsa kol kanaf hu shishim ve'arba. Every one of the corners is 64. Chutin kiminyan noga. That's like noga, one of the planets. Shebizchut ze anachnu metakinim kilipat noga. We are metakin that kilipa of noga, na'avir ketonet aod, v'yeh ketonet, and then we're going to pass over the ketonet of aod with an ayin of leather, v'yeh ketonet aod of aleph of light, v'arba olamot shem keneged arba kenafot, from the 4 worlds to the 4 corners. Shows you how deep the mitzvah of tzitzit and the depth in it. So beautiful sigula here that a person should do for his eyes. Yud Aleph. Yizahir la'asot guf ha-talit v'chutin shel ha-tzitzot hakol lavan. You should make your entire tzitzit and talit white. Ben betalit gadol, ben betalit katan. Big or small, the custom of the Ben Ish Chai is a white talit. The name is a davar, bereshit lamid, dash membet v'haya ha'atifim le'lavan. Those who are atufim should be in the lavan. V'talitot sheyesh bahem seva mitzidadim lenoi. And some of the talitot, they have these strings on their side of different colors for beauty. La'achbat, doesn't matter, that's okay. You can have those strings. Because those strings are the minute. Mina me'at, it's very little part. Beguf talit derubo lavan, that most of it is white. So if someone wants to wear a white talit with some of those colored strings on the side, tawala beracha, why not? That's good. It has no problem with it. If he wants it all white, that's also brought down. You'd bet. Arba hutin. The 4 strings on the tzitzit, you could put them on the corner. Toch hanekev, into the hole. Kadesh yusham shemona chutin tilim mikan umikan. Basich sheyeh kol chut mishumona elu. Orko shneim asar gudalim. It says each one of the strings should be 12 gudalim. Umodedim b'makom harachav shebagudal. Umatchilin limdod otam mesefat hakanaf achar hakesher. And they measure it after it's tied, the 12 gudalim. Aval kol ma shemunach al kanaf en limdod bichlal hacheshbon shel shneim asar gudalim haniskar. And don't use what is already on the corner to measure for the 12 of gudalim. Ve'im yetzil asotam yoter min hashneim asar gudalim. You can make it longer than 12, but it has to be minimum of 12 gudalim. U'b'di'avad im hem pachot mishneim asar gudalim. If it's less, keshirim, it's still kosher. Definitely, if it already had 12 in the beginning, or maybe from the washing or whatever, it shrunk, it would be kasher b'diavad. Yud Gimel, Elu hashneim asar gudalim, these 12 gudalim, Yizahel asotam arba'a gudalim gedil, ushmone gudalim anaf. He should do it, so these 12 gudalim, he should be careful to do them 4 gudalim, gedil ushmone gudalim anaf. 4 then 8. Ve'im mosif al hagedil, and if he adds, yusif gam ken be'anaf, also on the corner, be'ofen sheyidakdek sheyu hatzitziot shelish gedil, that you will have the tzitziot 1/3 just all string, ushne shlishim anaf, and 2/3 part of the anaf of the tying. Ki yesh hatam bazeh al pi hasod. There's something from the sod on it that you should have at least. The tzitziyot should be 1/3 of the gedil. Okay, Yudal, Yikshor Rashe Kol Chut Vechut Shel Tzitziyot. You should tie every top of the strings of the tzitziyot. So his custom was that at the end of every tzitzit they would make a little knot so it doesn't come apart. Kene Id Rabbeinu Hayim Bital. Rav Hayim Bital said the same thing. Al Rabbeinu Arizal Sha'ar Kabanot Daf Zayin Amud Beshayah Oseken. So the Arizal used to do that. He would tie every one of his strings at the tip. V'chen Ha'id Morenu Harav Shmuel Vital. Also Rav Shmuel Vital Al Rabbeinu Rav Chaim Vital Aviv Zal. Sham Huva Begot Ubiurim Ot Gimel. So I'll show you what he means on that. And on the ends, on the tips of the tzitziyot here, if you take a look, you'll see they're not tied here. So what his recommendation was, he would do this at the tip of it, the Shem Mitzvah Tzitzit. He would go like that, and he would tie it with this, like that, and make a knot. By doing this knot, you can be sure that your tzitziyot won't come apart and they won't fray at the ends of it. And it seems pretty important because he brings down that Rav Chaim Vital did it, the Arizal did it, Rav Shmuel Vital did it, and it seems that probably the Ben Ish Hai did it too because he's writing it here. Tetvav. He'id Rabbeinu Maharchu Zal, Ad Rabbeinu Ha'ari Zal, B'shar Kavanot Sham, Shaya Noheg Lasot B'Talit Katan, Davka Shnei Nekavim Semuchim Ze Lazeh. He would make 2 holes near each other, Ke'en Nekudat Tzereh, like a tzereh, Bechol Kanaf Marba Kenafot. So on a Tzitzit Katan, the Arizal used to have a double hole on the bottom. That's interesting. Over here, you would have, I guess, a double hole. Bechol Kanaf Marba Kenafot. Vaya Motzi Chote Tzit Derech Shnei Nekavim. And would bring the tzitziyot out from both sides. So I guess he didn't do it this way. He did it in a different design. באופן שיהיו שני קצוות חוטי ציצית מתגלים בצד אחד החיצון. So both parts of the tzitzit would come out of the the outer part. Usparazo hevi'ah b'sefer ha'agur. It's brought down in the sefer ha'agur. He has a note on the bottom. Kin katuv b'shar kavanot misham sefer ha'agur v'chein hu b'chtav yad maharchu in shar tefilat daf yud dalid amud aleph mihu b'sefer ha'agur defanil dita ella nimsa b'sefer ha'itur. So he doesn't find it in the Sefer HaAgur, it looks like, but he found it in the Bala Itur, in Shar Aleph Chelik Gimel, v'huva bebet Yosef, u'bebayit Hadash, sof siman Yud Aleph, v'achen bepri etz hayim shar Tzizit, perek Aleph gris kedat Bala Itur. So it seems that the Tzitziot, from my understanding, is like this, that this was the corner, and right now we have one hole, but this is how they had it. I guess it would look something like this. While today, we have it more like this, where you just have one hole, and you just have the tzitziot coming out. No, today we have it more like the top. Well, there seemingly is another opinion of doing it that way. Okay, Rabbeinu Arizal lo haya aseh ken b'talit gadol ela rak b'talit katan. So the Arizal would only do this on a Tzizit Katan, not on a Tzizit Gadol. Harav Shmuel Vital, He'id al Aviv Rav Chaim Vital, Huva behegahot ubeorim otei, shelo haya oseh ken afilu b'talit katan. So he says here that Rav Shmuel Vital, that his father didn't do it even on his Talit Katan, only the Ari did it. U'bevadai Rabbeinu Mahan Chuzal, Hevin me Rabbeinu Arizal, she'en davar zeh me'akev. That seemingly this is not something that's me'akev the mitzvah. He did this because I guess from a young age he followed the custom of the Ishkenazim. Lo shina, he didn't change. And Rabbeinu Chaim Vital was Sfaradi, he didn't change. And our custom is to do only one hole. And also the Hasidim in Jerusalem, that they only make one hole. Ben betalit gadol, ben betalit katan, big or small talit. And that is also the custom of Rabbeinu Rashash. So it's very interesting. The Arizal used to have a tzitzit word a little bit different, talit katan. Tet zayin. It's not good to leave your talit unfolded at night. If you forgot and you didn't fold it, and the night went by, so if you left your talit in just the bowl and you left it in shul or wherever and you didn't fold it, when you take it in the morning, don't just put it on. First hold it and then shake it a little bit. There's a reason for this. That you should really fold your talit every day yourself. The Ben Ish Chai is doubling down on this, that you should do it yourself. So if you're in shul and the gabai, or actually the shamosh, is going around collecting talitot and grabbing them from you to fold them, he's telling you, do it, fold yourself, your talit. It affects your mazal when you let the shamash fold your talit. And when you take off your talit and your tefillin, use your left hand. It's the weaker hand. That you show that, it's hard for me to take this off. I don't want to take it off. I'm using my left hand, but I put it on. I put on my right, my strong hand. Yud zayin. It's good to look at tzizit. And when you look at your tzitzit, you should think that it has on it the techelet string. And it is dome to the rakia, the firmament. It doesn't say sky, it says the rakia, and the rakia is different than shamayim. שכתב מהר חוזל, שאר הכוונות דף כף זין, עמוד ב' ודף ו' וימצא טוב בכוונה זו. And you will have a good כוונה on this by thinking of the תכלת. ברוך אדוני לעולם, אמן ואמן.